Today we're going to be looking at B on Vertigo with EliGE. To see exactly what EliGE is looking at, I'll be using his full config just to make sure we get a realism of exactly how he plays. Defending on B Vertigo isn't always an easy task, as you are left alone a lot of the time for your team to have 3 towards A, or even stacking 4 possibly. Making sure you use the correct utility and positions will change the outcome a lot. I hope from this video you can learn a few things new and improve your B anchoring strategy. The first approach we are going to see here is when EliGE and NAF are going to take stairs as 2 players, making sure Extremum isn't trying to do any sorts of rushes or try anything funny in the second round. As you can see, they haven't got any initial contact with the enemy, so they slowly start to move up to see if they can get any information, making sure they peek together so they can trade each other if needed. EliGE will now be soloed towards the B site, when the rest of the team will have a heavy stack towards A, throwing an early Molotov followed by a flash to peek over, making sure no one pushes through the smoke. After getting no contact, he will slowly begin to fall back to jiggle on this corner to make sure if he does get contact, then he won't get picked off and headshot straight away. Then if he sees someone, he can react with either a smoke or a flash to delay for a rotate. In this clip, I want you to focus on not how he's holding B, but on how EliGE is going to rotate around as his team starts to get contact and information towards ramp area. Checking around mid to make sure no one is lurking before heading over to set up a flash to support his team. Following up in a confident play, pushing through a smoke to win liquid the round. EliGE is back to jiggling the SEM angle again, waiting for contact. Notice where NAF is positioned on the minimap, able to give him support if he needs it. After Bentet drops this one-way lineup on B stairs and is looking for an entry onto B site, EliGE realizes this, begins to move up slowly, calling for a flash from NAF after his full flash, swiftly taking him down. Starting again with the standard early Molotov to stop any early T aggression, followed by a self-pop flash thrown into the corner of the pillar. You can throw a lot of other utility into this area as well, allowing him for his safe peek. After this, following up with a deep smoke, so that if the Ts are not in front of it, they'll be questioned if any CTs have pushed up closer. However, Bentet in the situation slips past in slight timing and unfortunately takes down EliGE. After throwing the early Molotov, this time he gets ready with his HE grenade, hopefully catching a timing, catching any players that are shift walking across, throwing it into the corner of the pillar again to maybe catch massive damage on anyone that's trying to boost. Back to NAF and EliGE now taking the stair control together, with NAF throwing the early Molotov instead of EliGE. EliGE now throwing a supportive flash into the corner. Not getting any initial contact allows for EliGE to back off and check towards middle. Notice EliGE looking at the minimap here as his team is getting contact and a lot of information. Instead of going straight over middle to check it, he runs around through CT, checking mid as he goes past, heading towards A, able to set up a flash to support his team further. A slightly different approach here, throwing the Molotov from on top of the double box for allowing to EliGE to also throw this HE against the box, potentially inflicting massive damage in anyone trying to beat the timing of the Molotov and jump past. Here is also a very strong angle that EliGE likes quite a lot, looking for potential boosts and also walk-ups. In this clip I want you to watch how EliGE reacts when NAF gets contact with the 3 players on mid. NAF luckily gets 1 and then traded out, but he gets the information there's 2 there. Luckily in this situation, EliGE has saved his Molotov, allowing him to throw it in the middle area to deny this tease to initially follow up on that push. Making sure he gets down this smoke to delay the player mid while checking back towards B to make sure he doesn't get flanked by anyone. EliGE does a great job delaying these mid players for as long as he can, staying alive, sitting in the smoke, lurking around, just being a complete nuisance. Back to taking this early stairs control with NAF, having one player drop down and the other one being a supportive player, making sure they can trade if needed. Even though NAF gets spammed through the smoke in this situation, notice how EliGE will take the opportunity to take the space behind the smoke and close the gap, taking control of this area where they just killed his teammate, maybe being unexpected and the enemy not ready for him in this position. Starting again with the standard utility, however, now EliGE is going to line up this smoke on this little dot on the sandbags, landing on top of the stairs. Throwing a Molotov into the corner to make sure no one can boost up while he's looking over the smoke. Catching Sirison off guard in this situation, inflicting massive amounts of damage. As he also heard the damage that Keto took from the Molotov, he is very aware that someone could potentially push through the smoke or be trying to boost over it. As you can see in the situation on the minimap, Liquid have stacked all of their members towards A, leaving EliGE by himself. As time gets to around 30 seconds left on the clock, he knows that either they have to be right side out of stairs getting ready to push, or they're going to be all towards A. As soon as EliGE starts pushing down this B area and sees nothing, he knows no one will be watching the flank, allowing for him to push from this area and catch someone off guard. To summarize this video again, I would like to go over the utility that EliGE has been using. The smoke on the sandbag, for example, the flashes and molotovs into the corner of the pillar. About 90% of the rounds, he'll always throw that early molotov to stop a early push or early information from the T's. About 30% to 40% of the rounds, him and Naf or you and your teammate can go and take this area early and see if you can catch a entry. Making sure to rotate at the correct times and where to rotate is also very important. Knowing if you can flank from behind and potentially catch someone off guard. Checking towards the mid area as well to make sure no one is lurking around and trying to get a flank from the enemy side. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you're new here, please subscribe and like the video. It helps me out a lot so you don't miss out on more series that are going to come like this. I hope you all enjoy. Have a great day.